Hey, hi Jonathan. How's it going? Okay. Just getting everything sent out and we are going to go and share things. Let me get my screen up and iconic notes. I want to do the web view. I don't know why it decided that my pages are in 3 columns here. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Okay. How are we doing today? You don't know what's going on with the language now. Well, we've been, I don't know what exactly you have been doing. I have created for myself a little bit of a to-do list so that I can actually properly, get everything sorted out because anybody who has been watching these streams knows that I have a tendency to say I'm going to do something and then I move back 3 steps and do other things and then forget what I was going to do. It's just part of how my brain works. All right. So we have we we worked out our modals, and I have to change these because if anybody here has missed my community post and my Tumblr post, I have changed the romanization. And let me get the correct keyboard. Wait. Oh, this. So these are now breves to go along with the schwa is now a breve. And well, I can just Control H. Yeah. Control H. And replace with I don't think there's any reason. Yeah, I can just replace all. And we can. This one I have to be careful. Control H. Well, there's only one place. Okay. I'll have to fix a few things because of that, but so that is what's going on with that. The other changes, the velar nasal is just NG, and I don't know if everybody noticed it even, but I had been using the okina for glottostop. I'm just going to use an apostrophe from now on because it's easier. And let's see, did this cause a problem? Yeah, this should still be a schwa. And then from there, it should be fine. Okay, so okay. So you end up with so you basically end up with it looking like you have double quotes in the middle of a word. I can see where that might be annoying. If you have a geminate see a geminate glottal stop. Are you using Q for anything? You could maybe use Q. Yeah. That's an option. Q or if you're adventurous, you can do H. Just depends on what you want to do. Oh, Q is ka. Okay, so if you have the ka, then Q is not going to be available. H is always possible. Um, I'm assuming you already have a K if you have ka. Um, yeah, I don't know. You know, I mean, there are H is a ha. Okay. So you don't have. So one thing you could do is just use the IPA symbol because there's a number of indigenous languages that just use the IPA symbol. It's going to be difficult to type, but you could do it. Yeah. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about what my plan is today. So um I wanted to um I don't know if I'll get to everything today, but I realized that I was like missing some things and I needed to make sure that I stayed on task and got some things done rather than moving jumping around too much. I've been talking around over and over. I've been talking about how important it is to get the imperative done, but never actually got to it while I did all the rest of the mood stuff, right? So I need to get the imperative. The directional slash associated motion markers I'm going to try to do. Now it's fine if people are distracting me. I want to have the activity in my chat. But anyway, um, I want to create the directional slash associated motion markers. So we'll look into that and see what I can where I can derive those, what I can get there. And then um so we rolled a die and I had to go and like go into Graham Banks notes and stuff to figure out what that die roll actually would mean. So what happened was I rolled, see where's the I have to open the dice tables and show where it actually is. So adjectives. So I happened to roll this last one, 98 to 100. Adjectives in the attributive acting position can act as stative verbs. That's actually not quite accurate. Are treated the same as attributive verbs. That makes it a little bit clearer. What's going on is somehow this language has to have adjectives that do not behave like verbs in predicates, which is where you would normally expect adjectives to be like verbs, but they need to behave the same as verbs in the attributive position. And so when we're thinking about that, the what I found is that when I looked at Grand Bank, here I will show you guys Grand Bank and show you guys what you can do. So you can go into Grand Bank and you can go into the features and go, let's go with this adjectives. So this is this is the feature for being treated, and they have examples here. um yeah, shape, age, dimension, use attributive, require the same morphological treatment as verbs. um and it's just one thing that it says is like the result need not be finite. Participles count as attributively used verbs. And if you look into, um, so if we take this and the, what is the feature? Where is the feature for? Where's the? That is GB068. So we need to go find GB068, which are for some reason. So if we go, so do they act like verbs in the pregative position? No, but do they act like adjectives? So you can open up this and you can go and look into the individual languages that are like this. And I checked a bunch of them. One that I had was Egyptian Arabic, and we looked those up, and it has notes here, and he says adjectives and attributive use are used the same way as participles in the attributive use. So Arabic has these participles, at least Egyptian Arabic, and I think what is there was one, um, and Maltese, which is related to Arabic. Um, the both of those have these participles that the adjectives and the participles take the same kinds of marking. So, in order to make this actually make sense, it would be beneficial for like like the adjectives to have some kind of agreement marking or some kind of morphological marking that would be relevant in order for this to be the case. So um now we did roll that there are both free and bound comparative markers, I remember. So um let me go into my draconic notes and go back to adjectives. We go in there, verbs, agreement, and there's both bound and free comparative marking. I don't think we actually roll to see if they would agree with in number. Can someone tell me that? While we're thinking about that, we need to think about how we're going to form a participle. So we can check with a few things here. We can check the World Lexicon of Grammaticalization, see if that has World Lexicon of Grammaticalization. participle, if I can spell it correctly. Yeah. Okay. So that's not what I'm looking for. I want my participle. The thing is, the participles are going to show up quite a lot. So I want the form to be interesting. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to choose a form that will have a lot of morphophonological interactions. It needs to have something that interacts with vowel harmony. It should probably start with a vowel if we're doing a suffix, that kind of thing. So, and we could do a couple of different participle forms too. I need to bone up on exactly what participles can do. But we could do with like one of them for now. We don't have any kind of passive construction, so there's not a passive participle. It's just an adjectival participle that we're going with right now. Yeah. Okay. What aorist participle? Okay. Um, and once we have participles, then we can end up doing some interesting things grammatically with that, with the way that we could do participial clauses and things like that. Um, another This is not the only way that that you can do this, by the way. You can also have adjectives just require the same structure as a relative clause. That didn't make as much um, sense sense to me in terms of this language, because it makes more sense if adjectives also act like verbs predicatively to have a relative clause structure for adjectives. Um, you could think about it like, but it's not impossible to do it that way. That is another option that you could have. But I kind of like this idea that attributive verbs are always in this participle form. So let's think about, what does our participle actually mean, right? So let's just think about participles for a minute. Uh, mm, Look at the Wikipedia. Look at the different things that participles can be used for. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, that's the etymology of participle. So, some languages have extensive. English only has two. We have a past participle and a present participle, right? We have the ed and the ing, right? Um, with a lot of these. So they can be used in tense constructions and voice constructions. Um, let's look at, since we're thinking about as a Arabic as a model, we can take a look at how it actually functions in Arabic. So every verb has a corresponding active participle, and most have passive participles. Okay. I don't know. I never studied Arabic, so this is. So let's see if we can find some information on Arabic participles. The doer of an action. They typically follow three patterns. Is kataba, to write. Is katib. Katib is one who writes. Okay, so this is different. This is really, oh, this is an AI generated thing. That's why it's not helping me much. Okay. Yeah. Use Arabic participles. Okay. This is me. You know what? Best thing to do is Scholar and see if we can look up things about participles. I'm seeing something interesting. Right. Okay. This is Syrian Arabic, but there's probably a family resemblance. Okay. They appear to be verbal. They license a full complement frame of the corresponding verb. Mahir, Allah, Salah. So Mahir has repaired the car. And it looks like a complete. Yeah. Mm, okay. When I arrived, Mahir put the coffee on the fire. Hi, Dardar. Yeah. So Okay. No access to that one. I probably should. I think I'm going to have to read a bit about exactly how these are used, but that shouldn't prevent us from making a form right now. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to create a participle suffix. We're going to have at least one participle. And I think it's going to, um, and we can work out some details of what it means later. So we'll just sort of get a placeholder in place. hmm So we have participle form, and let's get yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's one thing I do I am I that you should be concerned about, Jake, when you're talking about participles is like, is this the same thing? I think generally a participle is going to be a thing that can turn a verb into something else. But there's also like there's the distinction between participles and converbs, which wasn't always around, and things like that that I can be wary of. But none of that's going to prevent us from having like a suffix and a general idea of how these are going to be related to adjectives. I think we will give ourselves a suffix, and we will once we get to adjectives and our they're going to take the same they're going to end up taking the same agreement marking that adjectives can, which means or not just agreement marking, just the same morphology that adjectives can. So that means that those comparative suffixes are going to have to be included. So that's one thing that we can look at. Um, but yeah, it's definitely difficult to disambiguate things. But I want to get something right now. I don't know. Let's just start generating a few roots real quick. I don't have Lexifer up. Got to pin that. And let's start generating Maru Sato. No, I want something that starts with a vowel. I I am I getting oh, I'm getting this. This is a different thing. I need to load my own uh hmm, where did I put no, it's not there. Lexifer. Maybe it's in my Lexifer. No. What? What's going on here? Well, that's kind of annoying. Where did I even save that? No, that's not it. Well, I've lost my Lexifer stuff. Oh my gosh. That's really annoying. So I have to figure out where that went. Okay. So Lexifer. Maybe in my downloads somewhere. Okay, I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to have to try to reconstruct my Lexifer file. Maybe I'm going to have to watch my own stream and get that done. So we're going to have to go with the routes that I already generated for now, or just make something up. Um, so I want something that starts with a vowel that participates in vowel harmony. Or we could start with a glottal stop because the glottal stops do interesting things. Uh, ise, ep, ep. So, um, we got to start trying them out. I'm going to try out a few different options here in Lexergy, and I'm going to get. I've got a few different verbs now, so I can go ahead and start giving you guys that. Let me. Uh, by the way, I've been doing Luxembourg, and I've started doing some derivation. I've got a couple of suffixes here, and one thing you have is when you link documents in Obsidian, you get this map. I don't know how clearly you guys can actually see that because it looks like the thickness of the line is not super clear. But you can start to see, okay, ucha is uchit is coming from ucha, and it, which it comes from ide, right? You can trace these lines back. And as I start doing more derivation, this is going to get more complex. So that's going to be fun. That's one of the reasons that I decided to use Obsidian for dictionaries. It's a really handy tool. Um, William Annis suggested that, I believe. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, but let's go look at some verbs. Let's find some verbs. So buff kid, where are they? Why do I keep clicking on not verbs? So let's go with chitta, 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 chitta. And we will um, go back to put that into Firefox. We're going to go find, where is my, some of them are, Yija. Yeah. Okay. So actually, I need to go with the etymological forms, and I need to correct this. Correct that. Yeah. So do this, and gotta have pipes, and give. Ikif. We can use ikif. That's great. So we have one that has we have one that ends in a consonant. That's useful. So yeah. So we're going to grab a few different options. Ipu, ipu, ipu. Um, um, I guess we can just grab a. I want to grab one that has a schwa. A fa. And we're going to get one of these. I'm going to grab this. And we're just going to try these with these different verb roots. So I will keep these as a reference. And we're going to have the um, it's very simple. Something very simple can sometimes give you something really interesting. Okay, so let's apply changes. Uh, why? Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. So all of these are doing some interesting things, right? This should not be this is not the way it should work. I need to figure out why this is doing this. So there's my um morpho vowel deletion. Is my schwa not being listed in my vowels? It is listed in my vowels. Ah, I that's you got to be careful. You got to actually have the etymology. So chitta is actually from this. Um, let's rerun it with that. Yeah. Chitepa, yejepa, ikefipo, ipo. That's not super. Mm, we get chitafa. So this is interesting. If you see what's going on, if I have what is my word for control? I want to search the whole thing. Search everything. So search for. Did I not put it into my dictionary yet? I'll just make sure. Control F strike. What? Attack? What's Kiche? Kiche. Yeah, this is Kiche. Surely that's in the dictionary somewhere, right? Apparently not. Okay. Kiche is a verb. And we can get that in there for an example when you have a an ATR verb. I'm going to have to come up with some native names. Hello? Are people still in? My thing's still running. Suddenly my viewers has dropped to 0, which I've never seen happen before. I think there's some kind of yeah, okay, Tabby's here, Jonathan's here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, right now it's saying 2 people. I'm just wondering if I'm just hoping that I was just a little bit I was just a little bit confused there. So let's do some checking here and see. Chufa. Okay. No, that's not right. So this should be ch- goes chita'a, ija'a, ikefu, kiche. So if you have like a very simple one, yeah, I don't know, but I've had it's been showing me 0 viewers for some reason. I don't know why. Um, but okay, so all of these are interacting with vowel harmony. Um, we could go with for these ones truncating them to one syllable. We could ip or f, and we'd have the afa, ufa alternation. Uh, this is very simple, but actually gives us some decent variation in forms. So palatalization leaves before it can apply here. There's really no way I can have different forms based on palatalization happening, though, unless here's another thought. So we're just working on these forms. If we Because if we're going to have a participle, it's going to show up all the time. So I want to make sure that it looks nice. Let's see. Let's look at what else can we have. I want to have a place where we've got a schwa preceded by a paddleized. Not that. It's going to be a schwa because schwas do fun things. Okay. It's like I don't have one, but I can make one. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to alter it. I'm not going to have the, I'm going to have, it's going to be, f, fia. Which the default form of that would end up being fa, right? Let's take a look at this. And then take a look at how that interacts with the rest of this. So we get right. So this is, it doesn't do what I was wanting it to do. So the thing is, it gets fronted in any case because and never gets lowered. So that's not going to be a thing that's going to be valuable. That's not gonna gonna matter. But okay, wait. No, it's still just an alternation between the same things. So we're never gonna have. Yeah, I don't actually like that one. I think it's between these two, and I will let you guys. I keep covering my chat because I am silly like that. So I'm going to make it between the two of these. And I will put up the, why am I not finding the right things? I'm going to leave this up so that you guys know how this would actually pan out. So we're going to go with just two options here. So are we liking option A, which is this uffa, Control V, which can turn into AFA or UFA. Or do we like this I, I, which can turn into uh, uh, or There's a just by regular sound changes. So, which suffix works better for our um, what you say? Oh, participle. See what you guys think about that. So, leaving this up here and just wait a little bit. Okay, so okay. So it looks like we are going with, why did my poll results not show up there? Okay. At least one of them is going to be this. And then we can always come back to other options for another one. Okay. I guess it's defaulting to that. And yeah, so we can come back and we can do other participles. So for right now, I'm just going to do a placeholder. There's one participle form with suffix. Um, slash how, uh, uh. So, and I will come back to see how that's used later after I read a little bit more about the model languages that I'm using. So that's that part. Let's go ahead and get ourselves an imperative. So imperative could be lots of things. It could be a bare verb form. We could have a prefix, a suffix, anything could do an imperative. We could check out here and see, are there any features that are linked to imperatives? I'm not sure if Graham Bank would be that specific about it. Um, there's only one. It's is there a difference between imperative prohibitive and declarative negation constructions. That we don't need to decide now. That's something I can do when I'm working on how to express negatives later. But so let's think about, and it doesn't have to be the same as, so okay, we decided that it would be a prefix. Now, one option that I have here is I've made a word for follow somewhere. I think at one point I was thinking maybe because I need to have a causative too. Where did I I think I rolled somewhere that I need a causative too. There is a transitivizing causative. Um, that I would kind of make the, oh, I know what I was going to do. Let's search for obey. How do I search the document? How do I need to search the whole, here we go. Huh. Did I not make one that was, let me look in here. Yeah, ikif. Ikif. I've got ikif. Yeah, so this was what I was thinking, that did we pull something from that already? There's no linked message mentions in here. So one thing I was thinking was this could turn into an imperative, right? Ikif. Yeah. Let's think about that. Follow. And then we could have one that means order. That would be a causative prefix. So I think actually just having order be both of them. Yes. Okay. Guys, I've got an idea. I'm going to get, where is my, I'm sure that I saved my Lexifer thing. I just need to, let me stop sharing for a second so I can, because there's work things that I cannot show in my Notepad++. I need to make sure that, uh, what? Okay. .def. Draconic.def is here. Okay. I found it. I found my Lexifer file. We can all celebrate. So let's go close that, and I will share my screen once more. Okay, here we go. All right. Now I'm going to go generate some draconic roots. I don't like those. Kintrisp. 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 It's kind of long. Kintrisp. But I kind of like it. I'm going to go with that one. That's the first time that we've had a complex coda, and I just want to see what happens with it. So this is going to mean, let's see, order to or cause to or make. I'll have to think about it. Um, I want to see. No, I don't need to add it to Obsidian yet. I want to get the Excel and my mm, draconic inflection work going. And we're going to have, this is going to have to be a transitive. And let's see what this turns into. Oh, and I can also add, let's get this, let's get this into Lexergy. And we're going to also go jump into, we've got Lexifer. No, we're going to jump in and we're going to grab the participle form since we got to do that too. So make a participle. Um, and we are going to apply this. What's going on there? I have to fix things. So what happens here is I accidentally wrote the vowel harmony rule so that a sufficient number of consonants would block vowel harmony. That's not what I want to do. I want it to skip over all consonants and just do the thing. So let's go and find my we just need the vowel harmony. It actually shouldn't do that, should it? Let's look at the docs, huh? Um, to make sure that Wild cards. Okay. No, I already was there. Okay. Repeat. Optional and repeated segments. There we go. Question mark after it. At least one consonant. If the repeated segment is also optional, should accept 0 or more copies of the segment. You can use this instead of. Okay, so I need to uh, I need to figure out what's the deal. Why is it so? Vowel harmony. Let's let's make it make it clearer. Maybe that will help if all my consonants are declared as consonant. Yeah, I have a class that is declared of all consonants. So let's see what happens if that happens. Okay. I don't. There's some kind of glitch in my vowel harmony rule that is not obeying me. Because this should be becoming an E. Well, it should be becoming an and it's not. Okay. What happens when I have just this? Gin trisp. So it's supposed to get palatalized. It'll be fronted. So it should be gin trisp, but it's not getting that. That's my. This is plus ATR. Okay, I'm gonna have to debug that later. I know that it should be gin trisp. Right? And this should alternate between So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to put this in front of verbs. So I think I'm going to preserve agreement marking too. So that's something that I want to have happen. So let's we have let's if we have oh my goodness. Okay. And what is our second person's? And three. Where are we going with this? Gintachitate. Gintachitate. Ginta Gintachita Chitate. That's too short, too long. It's too long. Versus if we go with yeah, Ginchitade, Ginchitange. Kind of done this before. Kinchitange. Kinchitande. Kin Kinchitade. Kinchitange. Kinchitadre. Kinchitabe. Kinchitabe. Yeah, I think I like this. I think maybe how can I capture so we go with, if we use this with an intransitive verb, like uh, where's stop? We have stop somewhere here. Yeah, so go with versus or yeah. Gintachae, gintachae, gintrichae, gintrichae. Okay. No. We're gonna have something irregular happen. Not something irregular, but yeah, something irregular happen. Gintachae versus gitri gitri git gitrijae giri giri gitri giri. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Gitachae gitachae girichae girit girichae. You see, so I have had an irregular, so there's an irregular simplification because so yes, this is what I was looking for. So I wanted to shorten it out. And the thing that I can do is just assume people are, maybe it started as quinta and quintri, but it's dragons were saying these very often, and it ended up just completely simplifying. Yeah. Yes, I like this. Okay, so this is what we're going with. So, kita chatide, git, kita chitete, kita chitete, girichitade. Right? Girichitange, eat it. Eat them. Giri, girichitabe, girichitabe. And that means that I get to have lots of trills happen. Girichitabe. Whenever, so that means eat it, right? Girichitabe. Girichitabe. And it might even end up going all the way to it could have gone all the way to Grichitabe. 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 Okay. Gitachitabe. Grichitabe. So, okay. I think I've got it. Okay. Yes. Grit. Well, with the initial stress, it would probably more likely be girchitabe. But since we're being all irregular now, I think I'm going to go with grichitabe. Also, grichitabe, because actually, the root usually gets the stress anyway. So it was grichitabe, 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 grichitabe. And we have, okay. Grichae, grichae, grichae. Dragon comes up to you, stands up and yells, grichae. You're going to stop. Okay. All right. We have accomplished something now. Okay. So we have gotten it. We're going to go back here. We're going to come back up here. Yeah. The imperative is realized a prefix. Kita for singular subjects and gre. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make this what kita and gre for plural subjects. from I'm gonna write enough that I know what to do with all of my what did I do? Okay, try. I'm gonna write enough that I know what to do with all of my stuff that I've worked on. So it's I have to find the actual what is this? And this should be Gintrisp. That should be what the result of the vowel harmony is. I don't know why it's not applying correctly. So I will have to debug that. And two command. And then also and then kin and gin, this gin, the same source, is also a causative prefix. So gin, and that's going to work differently. So that would be like gugin, uh, gugin cha, 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 would be I caused them to stop. That would that would work in a different way. Uh, yes. I can fix that in a little bit, but we have created our imperative. And can I resolve that? Haven't quite resolved this participles. Okay, so next time I'm going to do some more research on the participles. And the next episode I'm going to probably also get into the directional and associated motion markers. Probably going to do some kind of a clitic or something there. Our verbs are getting pretty hefty, which is kind of a problem for me uh, to create concise incantations. But this is what the dice gave us. This is what we're going to go with. Um, I can always come back and try to maybe shorten my roots a little bit, something like that. Um, by the way, for anyone still watching, um, I have a something coming up next week. I have been working hard on my dice tables, and I have figured out uh, a a good first draft of how I'm going to roll vowels. And so be um, that is going to be coming out on Wednesday if you want to watch that. Um, and otherwise, I'm going to be here next week. I've got another episode of the podcast coming up sometime around the end of the month. And I hope everybody is doing well. I have a little bit of reading to do, a little bit of looking stuff up to do as I work on the participles, and probably a little bit of reading up on the associated motion thing. I may have to re-listen to my episode with William on that. So we'll get to those next time. In the meantime, thanks for watching and happy conlanging. And in stream.